Hi everyone, this is Business Hunters. Today I want to talk briefly on this high capacity Silver Crest blender, 8000 watts. A lot of people have been calling me asking for this higher capacity, and there are a lot of things that they don't really understand, which I'm going to break down in this video. The question is, who can use 8000 watt capacity Silver Crest blender and who cannot use it? Um, what I want to say here is that the most important aspect of a blender is what is built in this machine, this motor that you're seeing here. And there are two components that make up a quality blender, which is the thermostat and the coil. When you build in a quality thermostat into a blender, what it does is it controls the temperature when you're blending. If the thermostat that is in this blender is not a good one, the motor is not going to function optimally. And that is why when you're using your blender, sometimes you notice that it begins to smoke. But it is not all about the thermostat. The second thing is a coil that is built into this motor. We have two types of coils, the aluminum coil and the copper coil. If your blender motor is made of aluminum coil, it's going to get burnt easily when it is under serious heat. Aluminum cannot withstand heat as much as copper can withstand heat. And if you look at the two, they look different. You can see the difference. Copper coil is the color of copper coil is something like it looks brownish or light red or something, which I'm going to show the two in the course of this video. I'm going to show you the two of it. You're going to see it. You'll know the difference. Why the other one looks like it looks a kind of what is it called? Gray color. So these are the two. And aluminum is heavier than copper. So oftentimes some people will lift off a blender, they will say, this my blender is too light. It is too light. Why is it not heavy? They think the heavier it is, the more quality it has. No. If your blender is too heavy, you should know that it is aluminum that is built in. Copper is not as heavy as aluminum. You can Google it and see it. The weight of copper is way lesser than aluminum. So that's the difference. So let us come back to analyze the capacities, the wattage capacity that are right there. We have 3000 watt, we have 4500 watt, we have 5000 watt, and now we have 8000 watt, which is it is not common. 8000 watt capacity is not common, but a lot of people have been talking about it. I want 8000 watt, I want 8000 watt. So the question is, why do you want 8000 watt capacity of blender? Some are even stretching forward to ask for 10,000 watt. It is all about the capacity, the wattage. If you use 3000 watt capacity of Silver Crest blender, it can serve you effectively. In fact, we have been using it for years without complaint. Before they now came up with 4500, and now they came up with 5000 watt. Now they are talking about 8000 watt. But let me tell you something. You know, the higher the capacity, the more power consumption. If you are using 4500 watt, it consumes more electricity than 3000 watt. 5000 watt consume more. 8000 watt consume more. So if you are somebody who is using a prepaid meter, you may likely not want to use a high capacity like this 8000 watt. You can actually consider 5000 watt. You can consider 5000 watt. But this particular 8000 watt, it is not advisable for you who is using a prepaid meter to use it, except you are using a postpaid meter, which is an estimated bill. Even at that, it will still be consuming more, and they will bring a bill that you yourself will not be happy with. So it is better you just consider 4500 watts and also 5,000 watts. And oftentimes people will call me and say, we want 5,000 watt double cup. You should understand that hardly you see 5,000 watts that has double cup, except somebody wants to go into the market and buy the cup separately and attach it to the 5,000 watt for you, which is more expensive than when you buy 4,500 watt that comes naturally with double cups. But I always advise my customers, this single cup that you're seeing here, this single cup, you can actually use it to blend wet foodstuff and also dried foodstuff. Let's say you blend wet foodstuff and at that same time you want to blend something that is dried. You can just take a serviette or any handkerchief or whatever you have or any rag, you put it in here and clean it up, and you blend your dry foodstuff from there. It will save you a lot of cost because single cup is cheaper than double cup. When in actually you can actually use this single cup to blend both. So I always advise and a lot of people always go for this single cup. But if you are somebody who is interested in double cup, we can actually sell double cup of 4,500 watts to you, but not 5,000 watts, because you now need to go to the market to buy an extra cup before you sell double cup of 5,000 watts. So that is what you should understand in this video. So my advice to you is to stick with 4,500 watts and 5,000 watts. 5,000 watts when you have something that is rugged that you want to blend, like the tiger nut, like you want to blend dry beans, you want to blend what is it called? You want to blend corn and all of that. You need a rugged 5,000 watts. So for those that are blending smoothies, tomatoes, and other foodstuff that are not that hard, you can go for 3,000 watts. But I am not saying that 3,000 watts cannot blend those things. So, but it can actually blend it. But the time you will put in to blend all those foodstuff, hard foodstuff with 3,000 watts, it's going to take a lot of time for you to do that. And a lot of people have been asking me, whenever we are blending something like beans, most especially soaked beans. Soaked beans is the most difficult thing to blend with your blender. Soaked beans is very, very difficult. The reason why it is difficult is the fact that as you're blending it, it gets thicker. When it's getting thicker, it actually slows down the speed of it. It requires a whole lot of energy for you to blend soaked beans or even soaked corn than to blend dry one. Dry one is very, very easy and simple to grind than when you are using soaked one. So I always advise my customers, whenever you want to blend any soaked beans or soaked corn, do not pour in too much. Don't just look at the cup because the cup is long and big. You want to fill it up to the brim. No. Just fill it moderately, very, very moderate, and be grinding gradually. When you grind in, you pour in, you grind, you pour, so that you can maintain the lifespan of your blender. But when you just pour it in, remember this blender is not a grinding machine. Somebody called me one day and he was asking me if he could use this blender to crack palm kernel. But the answer I gave him was that I can actually import grinding machine from China for you. If you want to crack your kernel, I have a machine from China that I can import for you to crack your kernel, but not a blender. So that is the mindset that a lot of some of these people have. So this is all I have in this video. Just kindly like this video and share it with some of your people that you know, some of your friends, and also subscribe to our channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you.